tonight. We're monitoring social media as well, getting your reaction to this first decision day in the presidential election. Plus, Aaron Burnett is standing by at our polling center, revealing the latest set of entrance poll numbers. We've been talking to people as they enter the caucus sites. We'll find out what they are saying, what they are thinking tonight as we continue in a moment.
How can power consumption in China impact wool exports from New Zealand, textile production in Spain, and the use of medical technology in the U.S.? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason over 75% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing.
You want to save money on car insurance? No problem. You want to save money on RV insurance? No problem. You want to save money on motorcycle insurance? No problem. You want to find a place to park all these things? Forget about it. This is New York.
Hey, little guy, wake up.
Oh, come off it, Mike.
Geico. Saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Your favorite food's fighting you? Fight back fast with Tums. Calcium-rich Tums goes to work in seconds. Nothing works faster.
When your cable company keeps you on hold, you get angry. When you get angry, you go blow off steam. When you go blow off steam, accidents happen. When accidents happen, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough. When people think you're tough, people want to see how tough. And when people want to see how tough, you wake up in a roadside ditch. Don't wake up in a roadside ditch. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
I'd race down that hill without a helmet. I took some steep risks in my teens. I'd never ride without one now. And since my doctor prescribed Lipitor, I won't go without it for my high cholesterol and my risk of heart attack. Why kid myself? Diet and exercise weren't lowering my cholesterol enough. Now I'm eating healthier, exercising more, taking Lipitor. Numbers don't lie. My cholesterol has stayed down. Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke in patients who have heart disease or risk factors for heart disease. It's backed by over 19 years of research.
Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
Still love that wind in my face. Talk to your doctor. Don't kid yourself about the risk of heart attack and stroke. If Lipitor's been working for you, stay with it. Lipitor may be available for as little as $4 a month with a Lipitor copay card. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more at LipitorForYou.com.
Got about 900 locations in Iowa. The doors will be closing at the Iowa caucuses in 11 and a half minutes from now. They'll start closing the doors. If there's a late straggler, they might let that person in, but it's going to be very, very tight. The late arrivals, they're showing up right now. Let's go to Romney headquarters in Des Moines. Candy Crowley is standing by. Are there indications they're gearing up for a massive celebration? You see balloons, stuff like that, as you do at the Ron Paul headquarters, Candy?
I think that they will have a celebration, whether he comes in first, second, or third. I think it's going to be hard to argue a third place is a win, but nonetheless, they feel pretty good here. So, yes, they're hoping for a celebration. It's a good thing that I am close friends with these two women who are with me here now, Democratic strategist Donna Brazile, Republican strategist Mary Madeline. Listen, I'm going to pick up on a conversation that we just heard on our air about Newt Gingrich and going negative. It is my experience that candidates about whom there's kind of a muscular question, Barack Obama, can go negative and people go, yeah. People like Newt Gingrich, about whom there's no question that he can have a sharp tongue, when they go negative, there's a risk.
Of course, with so many voters still undecided and this race still fluid, he needs to be positive, optimistic. He needs to go in there and be convinced and persuade some of those undecided voters to come over to his side. That face of bitterness, anger is not going to help him on a night like tonight when they're looking for someone who's electable, who can speak to their values, and looking for somebody who can go the distance.
Can Newt Gingrich sell a fourth coming out of here? Can fourth be the new third?
You can never say never in this cycle. It's been totally unpredictable. But what his getting negative, positive is more illustrative of and more harmful about is the presence of no strategy. Mitt Romney had a strategy. They never came in here wanting to win Iowa, so they will be able to claim if they're in the top 3 and it's bunched up, that's a good enough victory for their strategy. Republicans started out wanting a consistent conservative. They're leaving having seen a consistent candidate. Everybody else went up and down. It's just one example of that. Romney has stayed steady and solid and has become a stronger candidate through this process.
And somewhat removed. I mean, I would say consistent and cautious. He has not been out there in the fray, so to speak. It's kind of as though, you know, the motto was like, you know, if you stand back, everyone else will implode and we can get out of here with a win.
Perhaps more patient than the other candidates. Remember, he's been at this rodeo before. The people here in the state, they know him. He really came in second place 4 years ago. His organization is pretty tight, and he can hold some of his organizational muscle for the next contest.
It was cautious, but it was disciplined, and the only time they broke the discipline was for good reason, when Newt was a real problem, and he took off the gloves, and he changed the strategy of his campaign and jumped in here and was a tough fighter.
Mary Madeline down in Brazil. We will be back with you later in the night. Back to you, Wolf.
You can see the Believe in America Romney banner right behind the speech. He's presumably going to be giving a speech at some point tonight. We see the teleprompters going up there already. Candy, thanks very much. We've been asking Iowa voters what's important to them as they consider their choice to be the Republican nominee for president. We'll have some of their answers. That's coming up.
When you have tough pain, do you want fast relief? Try Bayer Advanced Aspirin. It has microparticles, so it enters the bloodstream fast and rushes relief to the site of your tough pain. It's proven to relieve pain twice as fast as before. Bayer Advanced Aspirin.
With 14 million Americans out of work, attention is finally turning to the millions of illegal workers in the country. It's about time. But what about these workers? Legal foreign workers. More than 1 million legal immigrants and temporary foreign workers our government admits every year. They take good jobs, no matter how many people are out of work or how ill our economy gets. We need to slow legal immigration until America is working again. Paid for by the Federation for American Immigration Reform.
Capital One's new cash rewards card gives you a 50% annual bonus, so you earn 50% more cash. If you're not satisfied with 50% more cash, send it back. I'll be right here waiting for it. Who wouldn't want more cash? I'll take it. I'll make it rain up in here.
The new Capital One Cash Rewards Card. The card for people who want 50% more cash.
What's in your wallet? Sorry, I'll clean this up. Shouldn't have made it rain.
In Persian mythology, warriors ate pomegranates before battle, believing they would be rewarded with invincibility and bodies as solid as bronze. And only Pom Wonderful has the juice of 4 whole pomegranates and is backed by modern science. Powerful then, Pom Wonderful now.
Atlantis. Now enjoy your 4th night free. Plus, receive up to a $400 airfare credit. Discover Atlantis and discover what's lost. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
Won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it.
Watch your mail for the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes or go to PCH.com and enter. This February 29th, you could win $1 million every year for life.
We are nearing 8 p.m., the time when the doors to the Iowa caucuses are closing at Cedar Falls. Former Speaker Gingrich has just completed speaking. Shannon Travis is standing by there, very close to where the speaker is. Shannon, the doors have not closed there yet, but the speaker is finished with his speech.
That's right, Anderson. He just got off the stage. He's making his last appeal for votes. Let's see if we can get a word in with him right now. Speaker Gingrich.
Someday we're going to write a sequel.
Speaker Gingrich, about how many people do you think you were able to help decide of the undecideds that are coming in tonight?
You have to ask these folks. Thank you, man.
But what do you think your chances are in Black Hawk County, Speaker Gingrich?
Well, pretty good. We'll see.
And what about going negative? Do you think you'll have to go negative going?
No, we'll just tell the truth.
And Mitt Romney. And you'll stay out that pledge, Speaker?
Sure. We'll just tell the truth.
There you have it, Anderson. The speaker saying that he'll basically stay positive and keep that campaign mantra, even as some of his competitors go negative against him.
Shannon, Travis, appreciate it. Obviously, Wolf, it's going to depend on how he does tonight, but it would be hard to imagine Speaker Gingrich, given the atmosphere of the last couple of days, given his anger today, that he would not try to respond to some of the attacks.
I was surprised these last several weeks. I covered him for 20 years. I know him. He took all that pummeling, all those negative attack ads, and he tried to take the high road. He didn't take the bait until the last few days, last week.
How much of that was about money, though, that he just didn't have the money?
He didn't have the money, but you know what? You can go on television, and you can really pummel your adversaries for free.
Right.
You know, he could go on television, do interviews on all the cable channels, whatever he wants to do, and he could have pummeled them. He decided not to, and that probably was a blunder.
Right. We wanted to give you kind of a snapshot of how tonight's entrance polls work. We're going to be talking to people before they go into the polls. We have a little virtual animation to show you how they actually work. So the first caucus goers to show up, we're calling them the early birds, appear, and they look oddly like weebles. They wobble, but they don't fall down. They're highly motivated. They're the first ones to show up. They showed up about an hour ago. They're followed by the late arrivals who are just about now getting in right before the doors close. Doors close in about 3 minutes from now. Now, some of these people will have a chance to answer questions from survey takers before they enter. Soon after the caucus doors close, we're going to bring you the results of those entrance polls in two sets, one with just the early birds and one that includes the late arrivals as well. Now, why this matters is what's interesting is these two groups have historically voted differently. That's why with each set, it's possible the leading candidate could change. In fact, let's look back. In 2008, let's look at the early birds. They went for Hillary Clinton and Mitt Romney. And the later arrivals went for Barack Obama and Mike Huckabee. Of course, Obama and Huckabee won, as you know, Wolf, because we were in our election center all that night. So when somebody arrives, it gives you a sense of how motivated they may be. And we're going to be watching that closely with Aaron Burnett for who the early arrivals were and who they like.
And you know who else is just arriving right now with all of these nice people on the table over here?
I do not know.
Take a look. Let's take a look over there.
Look.
There he is.
Oh, I have my own little
Yeah,
label.
and I like the tie. Nice tie.
Very nice.
Very handsome.
Nice.
Wow.
Gray hair, nice,
Again,
beautiful blue eyes.
This is all going to show up in the Daily Show later when we get mocked. But what would election night be without some sort of new technology and virtual reality?
Lovely technology.
Why have reality when you can have virtual reality?
You remember Will I Am?
How could I forget? Oh, yes.
Very nice.
Let's continue the coverage. We're about 2 minutes away, Will, from the top of the hour.
Yeah, you know, we're getting ready to see what's going on. At the top of the hour, just to reset for our viewers, they're going to start closing the doors at around 900 locations. There's about 1,800 precincts in the state of Iowa, but some of them double up in various locations. They're going to close the doors. If somebody arrives a minute or two or three late, there might be a line. They'll let them in. They're going to go inside. They're going to hear speeches from various representatives of the candidates, the 6 candidates who have been campaigning aggressively in Iowa. And at some point, they'll start passing around a ballot, and people will be able to write the names of the name, I should say, of the person they want to see win the Republican presidential nomination. After that, they'll count all the ballots, and they'll tell Des Moines, the Republican Party headquarters in Des Moines, they'll call in and tell them how many votes went for X, Y, Z, et cetera. We're also standing by, we hope, to be able to report, give you a little indication of what's going on with the entrance poll results. Normally we have exit polls, but in a caucus, we ask people who are going in for their preferences, who they say they're going to vote for. It doesn't mean they're necessarily going to vote for that individual that they tell us they're going to vote for, because at the last minute, they could be, their minds could be changed based on what they just heard. But we'll have a better sense of what's going on, presumably. All right, we got some information now from the entrance polls. This is from the first wave of the entrance polls, the top-tier candidates. The top-tier candidates in Iowa right now, based on this initial survey.